Hi Diane. Today we are going to redraw the medallion. I did a little practice. What I wanted to do with this demo today is show you how to transform the one you have and make it look more like that one. So that's kind of what I came up with. We're going to do the drawing together. That was my warm-up, just to figure it out a little bit. And then there will be a part 2 of this where I show you what colors to use and how to paint it. So one thing I noticed is that it's a lot wider in the original. So I'm going to make it a little bit wider. And when you make it wider, just a note to do it on the right side to make it a little bit longer, because I noticed that the headband on that side could be shorter. So don't expand it on the left, only expand it on the right. Okay. So now I'm kind of finding the pattern. I know that it's a little bit curved, so I'm making slightly curved lines, and I'm going from point to point, trying to find the center. So where all those lines intersect will be our center. A note for the future, I did have to move it over to the right as I expanded. So it doesn't need to be perfect, you just need to know it's there. And then I'm going to draw that in. And it changes a lot. So when I mean you don't have to be perfect, it's okay. So I notice right here that one line is slightly above the headband, and then the bottom of it is slightly inside. So I just put 2 points there and then made my slightly curved line. I'm going to do it again. So I'm just figuring out where it ends. All right, so right there, and then slightly above right there. Yeah. And so I'm sort of guesstimating where the center should be. I'm just centering it with the headband. If you are nervous about drawing this on your painting, do a practice drawing. It really helped me to do a practice drawing beforehand. So. Okay, so now I'm going to expand a bit. I'm looking at the outside shape of that circle too, because it's not the same all the way around. On the right side, right now, I'm noticing that it's slimmer, and over on the left, you'll see that it looks thicker because we're seeing more of it because of how he has his head turned. So I'm expanding it, but reshaping it. And looking where the curve gets a little flatter, where it needs to curve more, that kind of thing. I'm sorry if you can hear all the cars driving by. It's really loud here at the school. There's no insulation. So we hear everything driving by. So even though I'm taking my time in reshaping, later on I'm going to keep reshaping a bit. So as you notice something, go ahead and fix it. But we'll never notice everything right the first time. It's a process. So just do your best, and you'll have time at the end to make it a little bit better. So you can see how that little star of lines, right, will help us with the pattern. So I'm just sort of cutting out the darker blue triangles and creating a star shape. And they're all mostly the same, but some are bigger than others and things like that. So if you notice that, go ahead and make it different. I guess in your neighborhood you always have parties that you can hear, your neighbors' parties, and here I always have trains and cars and motorcycles. I'll laugh if you can't even hear them at all and I'm complaining. Right now I'm trying to see if I need to move my center. And I realize that I do. So it's still a very simple pattern, so it's really easy just to switch things up a bit. And those lines are going to help us when we make the other shapes inside the star. Alright, so I'm putting a little circle in there because there are a few implied circle-y shapes. It'll also help me make sure my points are kind of working out and they're not too off. The upper right, I can see now as I'm doing my voiceover that there's a lot going on up there that I'd like to change. But I'm pretty sure I fixed it when I was painting. So I'm using those lines to help me find the shapes, the big triangle shapes. Now, my picture that I have is a little blurry, so you will have a better image at home. So if they're not triangles, make them what they are. So if they're all squares or something, you can make them squares. And if each shape is different, just simplify a little bit for your own sanity and pick the shape that you like the best and do it all the way around. All right, I feel comfortable erasing my guidelines now. It's always the fun part, right? Seeing what you did. The magical thing is that after you figure this one out, it's going to be a lot easier to figure out the one on the arm. And then I believe he has one on his necklace, I think. I think there's 3 of them, right? So it should be a lot easier, even though they're all going to be slightly different shapes. You'll at least understand them better. Did you notice I put little ruffles on the edges? This part's optional, but I noticed that the headband has a little bit more of a corner as it bends around. So you don't need to do this. It's not a huge change, but you can think about it. Alrighty, I hope that helps you. I do recommend doing a quick sketch first and then doing it on your painting. That should be safest. Okay, see you next video. Bye.